It's finally
Let
happening.
me find my agenda. Let me find my agenda, and then we'll,
Do you want a copy of it?
if you have one paper, that would be awesome. Oh, I got it right here. No. All right. So, the Middle Bay Redevelopment Commission meeting for April 15th, 7 a.m. called to order. All present except Gary Kripe. And, oh, okay. So but we do have enough for a quorum. So, can I have a motion to accept the minutes of the March 26, 26 meeting and the April 6, 2026 executive session certification?
Move to approve as submitted.
Second. Have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Open for public comments, but I don't see any public. Mary, do you have anything for us?
No.
Okay. We have no old business, so a new business. We are here to discuss mostly the real estate purchase agreement for 205 Warren Street. I will open the floor to the council for any comments or questions about this purchase agreement.
Mary, did you have anything more to add?
No, it's just the purchase price of $240,000. There is a donation being made by a private business owner, so and it's pretty much straightforward. Jackson probably, I don't know if you have anything to add. The only other request in its item B is the owner is asked to be able to remove like the furnace and different things. He asked if we were demoing it and said, yeah, we plan on that, but so he wanted to, I don't know, repurpose some of the stuff.
Plus, we have to dispose of.
Does the donation have any influence on how many buggies versus how many?
No.
Okay.
So the design would be what the design would be.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do we have any written pledge at this point of the donation or anything like that?
I have just a verbal.
Okay. So I didn't put anything in the purchase agreement, a contingency, if that falls through, partially because I didn't know if we wanted to make it contingent on that. I didn't know if the individual wanted to remain anonymous at this point. And I didn't know if that did fell through, someone else could step in or something.
Right.
So that's not part of this agreement, so we are still committing to purchase it at $240. That could be, we could propose that change if that would make the commissioners feel better. The only other thing would be it is $240. The average of the two appraisals is $230 something, so it'll go to town council after this for their second approval.
The average was 230 some.
234,
Yeah, 234.
234.5.
Remind me, why does it have to go to the town council?
I believe in circumstances where it's above the average of the two, it's at least good practice to send it to a town council for approval, because we're making a special approval over the average of the two appraisals. So secondary approval process.
Similar to what we would have done with the house on the corner there at Memorial Park.
I just thought that was one of the reasons why we purchase things here, so we don't have to do, I mean, that's fine, but it goes through redevelopment, so it's not lowest bid or.
I think part of the reason maybe for the law is not every community is small, and you have bigger ones that maybe maybe town council doesn't really talk too much to the redevelopment.
Gotcha.
Sort of another check and balance. I think.
Gotcha.
So the agreement that we would agree on as RDC would be for the full 240. Can we get the party putting 10,000 toward it to give it to us in writing?
He was ready to cut the check.
Okay.
So
It would just,
that'd be right.
would just be nice to have it with the documents, particularly when we go to town council,
Okay.
Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
the RDC is purchasing it for 240. We have a $10,000 commitment from a citizen, really makes it 230, right? So then at the town council, it's lower than the average of the two. which would also show the good faith of the community, at least a community business owner stepping forward to help the town. And I think would make the pill a little easier to swallow at town council. Because my reading at town council is a positive.
Mary, I'm sorry, I've been trying to find it. Do you know what the current balance is in the downtown TIF?
Around 990,000. Oh, wait, that was after,
That's projected, isn't it?
well, after all of our expenses and then after, the payments or, the contributions come in. That was at the end of this year,
And what's the average
about 400,000 a year
year?
of contributions, you mean?
Yeah.
The tax.
And, I mean, the discussion has always been that this is going to be a parking lot. You're going to spend $15,000 to demolish it, whatever, to pave parking lot, design work. If there's some drainage issues, do we know whether or not redevelopment's paying for that out of the downtown TIF, or if town is, or has it been any, like?
I think that several of the town council members they haven't voted on it or anything, but there's been talks about that money come out of the tax money, instead of out of redevelopment's money. But it has not been, in writing. And it might not happen until next year. I don't know when this will happen. We can probably get the house down and maybe put, limestone down or something and, just let it be for right now. Horse and buggies can, if you put a hitching post up, they can do that. And then, so that way we can work through the design, because I think that's going to take some time.
Is the design challenge mostly because of drainage?
Drainage, and then because of the horse droppings.
Right. Well, and there are other mitigation opportunities with horses.
Yeah.
And there are communities around that have parking lots that are, that do find ways to deal with horse traffic.
And just to confirm, anything that involves 109 Grand Street, in terms of our expenditures or what we do there for the future or whatnot, would be out of the downtown TIF?
Yes. And we did get that report back.
We have to do more investigation?
Yeah, I'm
We
trying
were
to
looking for the
figure out
summary, yeah.
the question. I think Jackson.
There was a saw
said-
suggestion on the northwest corner, but there
Yeah.
was no indication found yet, so, I mean, yeah, it might be worth talking to him again just to see if there is anything else needed, or if we're good to get suggestions from him on mitigation options. I don't know maybe he doesn't even make those suggestions, but now you know where it
Results,
is.
whatever.
Oh, for mitigation opportunities, yeah.
TCE was reported above the R2 PLN, the boring on the northern portion of the property, suggesting groundwater flow may be more northerly than anticipated,
Yeah.
or the potential existence of a secondary source on the northwestern portion of the property. The groundwater that was encountered appears to be discontinuous, having not been observed in the southern and west central portions. Further investigation may be prudent on the northwestern portion of the property to further define the TCE and groundwater and rule out a secondary source area.
That seemed like there was a pocket of water in that area.
Something.
Yeah.
And that if you go back to the very first, the phase 1 or phase 2 that we had, that's what that company said, is that there was a pocket of water. So anyway.
So moving back to the purchase at 205 Warren, Do anybody on the commission have any questions about whether or not we should move forward with it or should not, or how do we feel as a commission about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, we've talked about it in a couple of executive sessions and whatnot, and I don't love the idea of tearing down a house to put up a parking lot. I understand the needs for parking.
It's like an Alanis Morissette song.
That's Sheryl Crow and
Sheryl Crow.
Counting Crows.
That kind of, that's right, sorry.
But,
I'm an old guy, forget easy.
so, yeah, and I mean, like I said, I get the needs for parking. It feels like it's a rock in a hard space to do it. But you're talking about committing over 50% of the annual income on the tip for this purchase when we don't know what's going to exist moving forward on the property that we already have. And yeah, and then don't know what the ongoing costs are to do that because of, as we're finding out with Grand Street, sometimes when you open up the box, it turns into be Pandora's box and you find just lots of new stuff. And so what new stuff are we going to take on with this? So,
Welcome to every project in Middlebury.
Right.
yeah.
So the opportunity is,
Or any
if we don't take action on this one, the seller will list it, and when will this property come available again? It's so close. I'm with you. I don't love the idea of tearing down a house to make a parking lot. But we're not gonna jeopardize parks. We have a lot of those, and that would be, where do you get parking?
Right.
There's no open land other than Grand Street. We don't know what that's gonna be. So it's kind of like I don't want to say backed in a corner, but if we don't take this opportunity, may not come up for when.
If ever. The challenge that I have with not doing it is in any foresight at all, sure, we don't know what the property holds underneath. What we do know, or at least have a very good feel for, is that when the State Road 13 project comes through, we are going to lose downtown parking spaces. They're going to go away.
And it's somewhere
People are-
between 15 and 20 spaces.
So those are going to be gone. And the downtown, making a lot contingent to a lot that already exists will make it immediately usable. I do not see a Grand Street parking lot, and maybe that's in the end, maybe that's the only wise thing to do with the Grand Street property. It will not be it'll be a sparsely used parking lot because of the distance down to the merchants. This space, however, I see it being, half full the day it opens for the number of people that go down there, especially when those spots on Main Street are gone. And if we determine that the best method for bringing traffic into town from Warren Street is to take the parking spaces on the south side of Warren Street, now we're losing even more. So I just think prudence tells us that the opportunity's here. We've lost other opportunities before. It makes sense for me. Again, we never know what a piece of property is going to give us, but it makes sense now to move on this while it's available. Well, no further discussion. I will entertain a motion to approve the real estate purchase for 205 Warren Street.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Yeah, let's move forward.
And a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so the motion carries 3-1. So let's talk about B real quick. Request for the owner at 205 East Warren Street to remove certain items from the house. Do we need to make that as a motion? Do you think?
I wasn't sure what to do.
We don't have it yet,
Yeah, we don't own it, so,
and it hasn't been approved.
yeah,
It's a little premature.
that makes sense probably to move on that once we actually own the property.
I
I mean,
think,
while he still owns it, he can take anything out he wants. He owns it. right? Unless we're stipulating that, you know,
Sure.
there are items in there that
I
we want
mean,
to have retain the value.
I guess the way it normally works and the way it would work is it's a fixture, so technically we are buying it.
Right.
So,
Right. It'd probably be better dealt with after the property's purchased.
I think that my guess is based on the seller's timeline, they want to be able to move it now and potentially be completely out before we close on the property.
wait, so one of the items is the furnace, you said?
Yeah, they want to take furnace, lighting,
Who is this?
The owner.
the owner, and then repurpose it.
Sell it, get more money out of it.
I thought the person had donated the money.
The
The owner
owner.
of the home.
So like they would like to take the refrigerator, washer, dryer.
Well, those things can be common in a real estate purchase anyway.
Let's negotiate it, how much they want to take off the price.
I didn't want to take that option on the table. I mean, they are fixtures. It sounds like, maybe not everything they want, obviously, but I guess a lot of that is up to commissioners and how they want to do that. I mean,
We can auction it off
yeah.
the parts.
Yeah,
That is in your discretion, I
We'll
guess.
put one of those big signs in there with how much money we need for asphalt.
That's
And
right.
we'll start
We can have a,
selling off windows,
We can have
selling
a-
The
off.
way it is
We'll have a tag
currently is
sale,
we're buying
right?
it for
We'll have a tag
forwarding.
sale. We'll tag it all, right? I mean, I can see appliances, often appliances are not part of a real estate purchase, right? You can sell a house
Well,
without. You can sell a house
Depends
without.
what the appliance is.
Yeah, it just depends on the
The ovens
contract.
usually are, they're
Oh, yeah, right,
fixtures, you know.
Right, but washer and dryers, not, I've sold many and
Yeah.
taken the washer and dryer with me.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
right.
Just depends,
Not every
though.
time.
Not every, well, no, pretty much every time. I'm taking these with me, I can tell you.
The purchase agreement says that it includes us purchasing the fixtures.
Isn't the appraisal based on a house with a furnace in it?
Yeah, and so.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I think that's, right now, all
When I
those
see
things
items,
are-
I don't think the furnace.
Right, me either.
I think the personal items, maybe.
Yeah, and talking about lighting, you know,
They can take their toothbrush, but everything else stays,
Well, the thing
unless they
for,
want to purchase it.
the thing for me
Reduce
is
the
this,
price.
is if we have the full intention of leveling this house, like, that's our intention. We're not gonna do anything with it, we're gonna level this house. Every item that's in there, or not in there, is something we don't have to dispose of. So any mechanical piece to that furnace, we don't have to worry about whether or not any of those fixtures fall into some category that we can't dispose of easily. Refrigerator, for example. You can't put a refrigerator in a landfill. So, if we were thinking of doing something other than knocking this house down and
But
raising
we're
it for-
purchasing the house to repurpose it as a parking lot. They want to take a refrigerator, make some money on it and repurpose it. Why don't we negotiate the same way we're negotiating the property? Yeah.
I would say.
No, I agree.
Ask
On
them
the
what-
back end, we don't have to pay to dispose of them either.
Or, I don't know, if they're in good working order, we could sell them. You could have people architecturally salvage the house, you know.
Good point.
Do we know the age of the furnace?
They just redid the whole, they put
Owner
all
thinks
this
it's
money
worth
into this,
taking
like, they doubled in price in the last 4 years, so I'm assuming it's new.
Yeah,
Probably pretty valuable.
the owner thinks it's worth something. So he wouldn't want to take it out.
All right, yeah, exactly. There wouldn't be a item number C in here, or B, or whatever it is, if it wasn't worth something.
Yep. At least to
I don't
him.
know. What do you think, Don? Are we splitting hairs here? Ian, you weren't in favor of the whole project anyways. What do you think about the stuff inside?
Let's go to the devil's advocate.
no, I mean, I think, like I said, we're just moved to approve a purchase agreement to buy the entire property, including the fixtures, for $240. So I think on one level, we haven't closed on the deal yet, so they're not ours yet. But another level, that's part of what we've, in theory, bargained for. I get not having to dispose of it. I don't know that that makes a whole lot of difference to your demolition cost based on when I've been involved. I think they just,
Probably not, no.
I don't know that that goes one way or the other on what it costs us down the road, so.
But there might even be the option of, I mean, you have people out there that do like deconstruct or,
Well, yeah, absolutely.
and maybe somebody approaches us and says, we'd like to pay $5,000 for the house if we can.
Especially if it's gonna sit there for a little bit, but like part of my worry, I guess, is the statement that it's gonna sit there for a little bit. We don't even know if we're gonna do the demolition this year. I assume that we will, but you never know.
Right.
I don't know that I wanna be gutting it and then we create other issues if it has to sit there for a little bit. And,
Furnace being one of those things usually.
yeah,
Well, because of, we're going to try to get the water disconnected, but what if that doesn't happen this year? I guess we can turn it off the curb stop, but
like I said, I mean, if we demolish it this year, then it's easy, but we're already talking, I think the closing date was July.
I gave a long
Yeah.
runway. I
But-
think they're ready to close as soon as possible, but I wanted to give us enough time to do any inspections we felt we needed to do.
No, I,
I'm inclined just to take it, and if we would decide if we want to sell it or whatever, do it. I mean, I think I don't want to tell them how to, negotiate, but if they wanted that, they probably should have asked for that contingent
upfront.
before they signed the agreement, so. but-
yeah,
well, I
they
like
called
the
me
idea too.
afterward.
There may be somebody who would pay for, the right to go in and salvage.
Or you may be able to make a donation to Habitat or something, communities like that, so.
Well, I think I agree that we're buying the house as is. We take it as is.
Maybe some community goodwill that could be done. Like what Don just mentioned, hey, this house was just redone. So we could donate, rather it just go to the owner, it could be donated to Habitat for Humanity for repurposing or somebody needs it.
Right.
Swallow the pill for those that are tearing down a house, but at least we're repurposing parts of it.
Okay.
Need a formal motion on that?
Not on us.
I-
Sound like it.
They called in afterwards and asked the question, and I'm like, I can't answer that.
They charged us for it.
The
No,
char-
that's
well, that's a
all
good
I
point.
see. I don't
Right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right,
know. We paid above appraisal for it.
right?
Yeah, right.
We're paying for it, giving it away, right? At least we discussed all the angles.
Could turn it into a town Airbnb for a while, until we get
I
ready
can
to
tell you,
sell
I
it.
can tell you what the council would think.
Permit for
I can
that.
tell you what the council would think of that.
Although maybe they're outlawed.
Short-term rentals, man.
It's still
Yeah.
active for now.
Yeah, I can tell you what the town would think
Control
of that.
that.
Yeah.
Mary's new office for a little
We're not
while.
it's not our
My
primary
new
residence.
office.
Yeah, right, yeah.
There you go.
We would have to get one.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so no more discussion on section B, so seeing no new business on the agenda, we will, the redevelopment commission for April 15th, 2026 is
We need
adjourned.
to discuss when the next meeting is.
Oh,
Number
so,
7.
so right now,
I don't have any business that would be on the agenda for April 23rd. So,
so why
I-
not till May? Do any of the commission have an issue with that? If we don't have issues to discuss?
No, like I said, when we had that Grand Street report, I don't know if there's anything to do in
Right,
response to
yeah.
that or not, but
If there's anything we need to do for Grand Street.
I figured I would invite him to the May 28th. It didn't seem urgent.
Yeah. I think in May, we normally do our allocation resolutions and
Yeah.
all that stuff, so we do have things
And
in May,
Baker
but-
Tilly can probably be here then too. So then maybe we won't have to have one in June. So
That's required every year?
the Baker Tilly thing, yeah. It's a state law.
I could present that now.
You and me
We'd like
both.
to see that.
It'll be
you know,
comical.
they just just take the slide from last year and
Yeah.
explain
Updated.
how tests work. I don't know, maybe there's, I'm not gonna say that.
Well, the
We're
thing
still-
is, we
we're
could
still
always, if something happens on Grand Street that we need to move, we could always schedule one between now and May 28th, if necessary. right?
Yeah.
Everybody would be okay with that? Going to the 28th? All right, so we'll make the next meeting, May the 28th at 7 a.m. All right,
All right.
and today's meeting is adjourned.